Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Oh my. And you are welcome in. You're welcome in this place. I'm lost without you. Can't do nothing without you. Oh no. And you are welcome in. You're welcome in this place. My heart says yes. My heart says yes to your will, to your way. And you are welcome in. You're welcome in this place.
Welcome back to MentorMe Memorable Moments. Welcome.
Thank you, Tracy.
So nice to see you
Oh, it's a
here.
pleasure to be here with you, always.
Yeah, well, you know what? We usually don't want to time our programs, but we do have to say Happy Daddy's Day to
Aw, well, thank you.
It was
Thank
a good
you.
day?
It was a wonderful day.
All right,
Yeah,
great.
and there's more to come, I
you.
understand.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you being here, all 135 nations in all 50 states, tuning in to WLVS Radio.
Yes.
You're probably listening and viewing us through www.listenvisionlive.com or our very own website, which is mentorme411.com.
Yes.
We want to thank you for joining us. This is our financial health segment, and tonight we have a guest, and we also have the fashionistas back with us.
Yay.
So we're going to be talking with the fashionistas about global trending fashions.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And we're also going to be looking at our guest speaker. You've got some questions about credit. You've got some questions about identity theft. You've got some questions about financial protection. Well, she's the one that you're going to hear from, and she's the one that you're going to want to connect with after this show. So let's open up and say hello to Danae Davis
Hello,
with Is the
Danae.
New Black Fashionistas.
Hello. So good to see everybody. And happy Father's Day to the fathers out there.
Okay.
And the father in here.
And the father in here, yes. And hello to our guest, Siobhan D. Johnson.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
All right.
So you know what, Danae, we always kick it off with the fashionistas during the financial health segment. So let me have you take this over.
Okay, so let's start with the pictures from the global fashion trends. So what I did was I thought about summer and like what great things, we can wear during the summertime, great ideas. I started off with Chincoteague, Virginia, which a lot of people don't know that island, but it's gorgeous and they have wild ponies that run there. And I thought tribal when I saw it. So I went with a tribal bathing suit, a matching sarong.
Nice.
And I thought it was I think it would, a little punch of color with that orange and the sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. That'll work.
Wow.
And it'll work on a lot of body types.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's next.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Okay, so
All
this
right. I like
was
that.
my
Nice.
if I were going to be in Barcelona look. So I went with a beautiful sort of tunicky cape-like filling top with sort of a lace trim to it. I did white on white because that's a really huge trend for this season. So everything is in that white sort of tone. The handbag, the shoe, which is amazing.
What's up with these shoes now? We've come back to this whole platform.
Oh, yeah.
How long is this gonna stay around?
Until we've decided the 70s aren't cool again.
Okay.
So that might be a minute or two.
Okay.
All right.
I'm with the 70s. It's just very interesting.
And then I thought about Paris. And
Oh,
I
that's
thought if you're in
nice.
Paris
Nice.
and
Like
you're
the
going
dress.
to be, running around and shopping, I think the dress is adorable. A little punch of color with that little yellow handbag, and then those little metallic sneakers.
Yes.
I thought they were super cute and a fun way to pump up a otherwise cute outfit, but not necessarily most fun outfit.
And you can change that up with change the accessories and make it day or evening.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's hot.
Next slide, yes.
And so Rodeo Drive, which I'm very familiar with because I used to work right off of Rodeo Drive.
Okay.
So I feel like the hot it chick, the girl who, you know, is on her way to becoming the biggest chick known in the industry, would do a waist high skirt. I like the skirt because it has a lot of pattern to it. I did a clean crop top. Little dangling YSL earrings, which are probably vintage. I don't know that they still make those anymore. And a really nice basic shoe. And I just think if you're going to be on Rodeo Drive, hopping out of a limo.
Oh,
That's the way of getting a little attention.
Hello.
Hello.
And
I'll
a
join
good
you in that
simple
trip.
ponytail.
Exactly.
And also, I did a makeover for Father's Day. Oh,
Yay.
Tokyo. All right. Tokyo is, in my opinion, one of the most innovative cities you're ever going to, even get into a conversation about.
Yeah.
And so I thought the metallic short with this sort of, that sort of wrap top is really cool and really interesting. I like the idea of throwing in that little feathered headband. Because there's always a little pizzazz and funk in Tokyo.
Yeah, they have such a fashion sense.
They do. They do. And they're always a little ahead of everybody else.
Yes, they are.
So it's, I feel like Tokyo is a place where you just do you. And if you is feather from head to toe, then do it.
Okay.
They'll appreciate it and love it.
That's
Well,
a
you
nice
know what?
outfit, though.
I know you want to get into the makeover. Can you tell us about some of the fabrics? Like cotton, is that the best wear for this time of year?
I think okay, so it depends on really your taste. Cottons, to me, are the easiest route to go. They'll iron well, so you won't feel crumpled an hour into it. I mean, the part of the country we're in is humidity, and humidity plays games with your fabric. I think anything that is very synthetic is going to feel like being wrapped in saran wrap. And it's never, I know some things look good in polyester, but just like keeping your head, I'm going to be inside in air conditioning and all its poly.
What about silk?
Silk is great, but it will stain. And so if you're going to be out and about, silk is not a great option.
Gotcha.
It's cool, it's breathable, and it's pretty. But if you're sweating in it, you'll ruin it. It's delicate in that way. Linen, you're a little better off. But linens are, and now they make these sort of fabulous blends. So you can get these linen cotton blend tees and linen cotton blend dresses. And those are good options because they don't wrinkle as fast. But they also allow you, they're breathable still.
Right.
And breathable is the big word that you want in the summertime, especially in our version of humidity.
How about at middle age and
Personal summertime.
Yeah. But breathable, because what happens is that sometimes they make things in polys and they're very pretty and people don't notice it because for whatever reason, and it really doesn't matter price point. Some of the highest end pieces are made out of poly.
Right.
And you have to also watch that even though it's linen on the outside, check what the lining is on the inside, because if they line it in poly, you're going to want to die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
So,
yes.
it'll look, the linen part has to be all the way through. So sometimes I know some makers are doing like really heavy, the higher end company do really heavy versions of linens that wear a lot better. I mean, you may pay $500 for a pair of pants or $500 for a dress, but those linens are thicker and much heavier and they hold up much better.
Right.
Wouldn't they be a whole lot hotter?
No. Because they're still breathable. The game is that anything that's sort of blended is where you have to check, and anything that's lined is where you need to read the thing. Linings are really, that's what's touching you. And so, it's if the lining is wrong, if the lining is hot, you're going to be hot. There's no way of getting around it.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, so at some point, we've purchased these outfits, or we are desiring to purchase these outfits. We don't have the money for that, so there's got to be some place we can go where it's affordable.
But there is, in every single version of every major designer, there's a price point family. There are different price points. Some designers actually have high-end versions, and then they do a separate line
Right.
that's a lower-end version. The quality might be a little different than that Neiman Marcus version,
Right.
but it's still a good piece of product usually, and normally the fabrications are what divide them.
And where do you typically find those lower ends for the designers?
Basic department stores, a lot of times, or online.
Okay.
For instance, there's Michael Kors, which is the higher end line of his clothing line, and it can get pretty pricey.
Right.
And then there's Michael Kors, and that's more affordable for everyday people
Gotcha.
working on an everyday people budget.
Gotcha.
And again, the difference are going to be in the fabrications. So you're going to find more poly, but he does also in the Michael Kors line do linens. He does linen blends. You know, it's just a matter of like looking. And the same thing with a lot of the brands, Calvin Klein, Donna Karan versus DKNY versus Donna Karan jeans. They all sort of like divide their things up. And then the other thing too is sometimes you find something and you just really love it, and somebody has sort of made a version of it
Right.
at the Target level. So you go into Target and it's pretty close. Once again, you know, if you need to check for fabrication, you know, do so, because that's where you're going to see the difference. And also in the you know, don't get married to anything trendy. If you pay $20 for something and it's trendy, you know, if it tears in the club, it tore in the club. It's okay.
Okay. It's another trend, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it
Right.
just depends. I mean, you invest in things that
Disposable.
you know you're gonna. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's certain stores that's what they do, disposable clothing, and so you go in there and $5 T-shirts and, you know, $20 dresses, and you wear it, you go do what you're going to do in it, and if it doesn't last the whole summer, it didn't last the whole summer because you only paid $30. Say thank you, Jesus, for the $30 dress, and bury it in the trash and go on about your day.
Okay. All right.
Question for you. What about some of these online shopping networks? Can you usually find a good deal on some of the designer names there?
Like the QVCs and
Yes.
yeah, you can find really good deals, and sometimes they let you even do like you pay like bits and pieces. So you
Over time.
yeah. So you can break
Right.
it up into 3 or 4 different pieces, and so it just depends on you know what you do and you know what exactly your budget is. I
Right.
think it's an interesting option, and then a lot of celebrities are moving into doing those.
Right,
Those
'cause they can
sort
move
of
volume.
outlets,
Right.
yeah, and you know, and they're like capsule collections. A lot of times, it's a little short thing that I'm trying out, and I want to see if it's going
Gotcha.
to move or if people are interested in it, and it may not be available anywhere else. And
Cool.
so this is your one time to get this June Ambrose piece that you're seeing, because
Right, right.
maybe she's not going to move that into Macy's or somewhere else.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to your makeover.
Yeah, I did a Father's Day makeover with a good friend of mine, Amir Stewart. That's him and his sweetheart.
Hello, Amir. Hello, Amir.
And he couldn't be here today because it is Father's Day. But Amir has lost about 20 to 30 pounds
Okay.
in since Christmas.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, moving more, eating less.
Okay. Oh, all right.
And so, you know, I decided to celebrate it
So
by
is this
doing
the
a little
before or the
makeover.
after?
This is his before,
Okay.
but this is not before the 30 pounds. This is
No,
just
no.
this is before I made him over.
Right.
Mhm. And so I decided to do a casual look, which is they're a straight jean, a clean white sneaker. That shirt is by a company called 7 of Diamond out of California. They're an American company. I just thought we keep it clean and simple. I mean, you know, we live here in, you know, DC, and that's sort of our way. It's clean and simple, you know, and it still has a little bit of fashion to it, you know, but it's casual. It's weekend wear.
I've noticed the plaids are coming back, whereas we used to shy away from plaids. Now they are making a statement.
No, plaids are hot again. It's how you wear them.
Ah.
It's, you know, it's wearing that heavy flannel shirt way too big. That's sort of out of line.
Okay.
Okay.
It's, you know,
How do you know
or
if you're
it's-
redneck, right?
So like,
Oh, William.
so my thing is about fit. You can pretty much pull off anything if fit is proper
Okay.
and correct. And
Okay.
so that I did a suit look.
That's nice.
On him, and it's a plaid suit. It's by a company called Talia. They're sort of a Euro company, and I like the idea of doing plaid. The shirt he's wearing is a check shirt, and that tie is a plaid. So I thought I'd do pattern on pattern, just because that's a really hot trend for the season. And I finished it off with a sneaker, because that's another
Oh,
big
okay. I
trend.
didn't notice
And
that.
so while
Yeah.
it's a
Interesting.
basic color, it's a sneaker just the same.
Right.
And those are really comfortable.
Right, right.
And
Now he
so-
looks sharp there, and it's amazing the difference in his look with the shirt and tie.
Right.
You know,
Which
versus
he never wears.
He never wears a tie.
I've never seen him in a suit. That's why it was.
okay.
That's why I wanted to hit suit first.
Amir, you look great, man.
Yeah,
Keep it up.
wear it more often.
Yeah.
So, and I just, I think changing things up, trying on things is always a good option. You know, when you're not used to wearing stuff, it's all put it on. You never know. You get it on and you go, oh well, maybe I can do this.
So what's going on
this is the
here?
Russell Simmons look, right?
I like that. Yeah.
So I did a sort of a in between look, not too weekend, but not too a date night sort of look.
Okay.
I thought it would be cute to do. That's a knit navy blazer,
Okay.
and so it's soft. And it stretches.
It looks good.
I'd like one of those.
Nice clean look on him, a polo shirt, and I did a pair of joggers, which is a huge trend in men's fashion
Oh, that's
right
what
now.
I'm
those
seeing
are.
that
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah, and again, white clean sneakers, which I honestly feel like white clean sneakers are the answer to a lot of questions for men. When all else fails, I think that if you have a good base and that you have always a good white clean pair of sneakers you can go to, it's like a Jay-Z thing. But in DC, that's been our sort of go-to for years. That's what we've always sort of had. I think that you can kind of get away with anything else over top.
Interesting.
It's the same thing with wearing like a black sneaker. You wear a black sneaker, and it's a good base to everything else. But I think a white sneaker gives you a little bit more personality.
Let me ask you about loafers, because I'm more of a loafer guy.
I like loafers. I just ran across a pair of loafers by I think Cole Haan recently.
Okay.
That are really beautiful. They're burlappy in feel, or I don't think they're linen. I think they actually used a burlap.
Okay.
And so it has a heavy sort of pattern to it, and it's perfect for spring, summer. And it looks like spring and summer. It doesn't feel like, like you're just throwing on, something. And I
Gotcha.
think the thing with loafers are you can do loafers for season.
Okay.
Just like you can do a slip-on sneaker for season. So
Okay.
you can do a thicker, heavier leather slip-on sneaker, or a heavier leather loafer for fall or winter.
Right.
But you can do for spring and summer. They make all of these new things now, where it's canvases,
Right, I've seen
and there's
those.
burlaps and there's linens, and they look really good and really clean, and they're not too hard to really keep up.
Right.
A good brush. When you take them off,
Right.
and obviously you don't walk in mud in them.
Right.
So, and
Tweet that.
yeah. But then, they're like great. They're perfect for summer. So
Great.
it adds a nice light, sort of touch to a look.
Great. Cool.
Okay. Did you have any others?
Nope, I think that was
Okay,
everything.
all right. I think I love them all. and I don't want to rule out that you, for those who are seamstress, can actually go to the material store, get your fabric, get your patterns, and make these designs just as much as
Really?
anyone can walk into a shopping center and purchase them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Danae.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see Courtney back next month, along with Is the New Black, and can't wait to see what you have to talk about then.
Okay.
You know what I'd like to hear you talk about?
What?
When you guys are going to take folks by the hand and literally lead them to do a shop to shop to
Oh,
shop.
that would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see you do.
Okay.
And I'm
On
sure
the
some folks
street
would
with the
would sign up.
fashionistas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For that.
Let's
Yeah.
do
That'd be real
a
cool.
shopping crawl.
There you go. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Mike, can you put her slide back up again? This is how you can contact Danae and Courtney with isthenewblackstyling.com
.com.
is your website, and you also have a blog.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. And you can just email us.
Yes.
But any of those you can catch us at. And, we're more than happy to, if you have an idea or a thought, or, you're interested in getting your own makeover,
Right.
let me know. That's sort of the dream. I'm all excited about those things all the time. So,
And we'll make sure we add in FaceTime and Skype so
Okay.
that they can do that with you as well. Well,
All
thank
right.
you again.
Yay.
And you know what, William?
Yes.
We're at that point where we have to shift.
Video. That means a video.
That is a
means
video. That is a video, yes. And because we have such a wonderful guest, a gracious guest with us, I just took a collage of her pictures and put them together to some
Which
music.
you do so well.
Yes, because I want you to be able to hear what she has to say. There's so much going on with the credit and the finances, and she's going to help clear some things up for us.
Super.
So, Mike, if you could roll that video on Miss Siobhan D. Johnson, please. Please help us in welcoming Miss Siobhan D. Johnson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Siobhan, you and I think we met over social media.
Yes, we did.
I remember I was sitting there because I was thinking about what do I want to do with this segment coming up, and I just happened to be out there floating on the internet and bumped into your information on financial education services.
Wow.
And said I needed to call you, and I did. And where were you?
I was actually in Atlanta, headed to Atlanta, to our company's advanced training called Millionaire Mentality.
All right.
So I was like, okay, let me get this information. I'm going to have to give her a call back. And I apologize again for not being able to talk to you right then and there, but we connected.
Oh, no, I understand that. When I called, I was talking to her. I said, wait a minute. This sounds like a party going on back there. She said, well, yes.
Yeah. The millionaire mindset party.
Yes,
Wow.
Exactly. So we got you here. We finally connected. Got you here. You have a lot of information that I like. And William, I like her and what she stands for so much because it represents what we did when we were at Salvation Army. And all the work that I've been doing with Empowered Women Take Back Your Finances, which you were a part of as well.
Yes.
You would come out and do the segment on, are you a business owner? Do you want to go get ahead in your career? I mean, what do you want to do? So he talked to the women about that. And so in looking at financial education services, you've got a lot going on.
Yes, we do. Financial education services, it's been a roller coaster ride with me, but I'm here and we're here. We're here to actually help young people. We're actually here to help households as well, just to get your finances back on track.
Okay, so before we actually look at FES, I want to talk to Siobhan. Okay, I want to find out who you are and why did you choose this as a field that you're so passionate about?
Okay, well, being introduced to financial education services, I actually had some credit challenges myself. So when I saw that FES was out there changing lives, I was like, I got to be a part of this. I always had a passion. I always felt like I wanted to help families get on their own. Before I got introduced to FES, my girlfriend and I, we were always sitting there writing letters. We were always trying to just get our credit together. So when I ran across this company that actually I saw the results, I saw that they had helped thousands and thousands. I said, you know what? I'm going to try them out for myself. And
Okay.
once I saw that it was working for me, I was just like, I got to get this word out there. I got to get it out there.
So what kind of problems were you having when you were trying to get your own credit together?
Well, I was trying to get a house. It was at the time when
Okay.
2007, 2008, when the market was going crazy and they were raising the standards
Right. The
for
Great Recession.
loans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They removed those no doc loans and they were requiring a higher credit score.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't have that credit score. And I was just like, something's got to give. And then I was buying a condo. And trying to buy that condo, FHA had pulled out and said that they would no longer be servicing condos. So then it had me having to have come up with 10% down.
Right.
I was like, there's
Yes.
no way. Either
Yes.
you come up with 10% down or you had to have a 720 or higher. At that time, I only had a 640
Hello.
because before that's what I could get, a 640.
Right.
So those were some of the challenges that I was meeting. And I just saw it. I was just like, you know what? This makes sense. It just makes sense.
So you found a company that was actually real, because we see a lot of ads, especially in our community, quite honestly.
Right.
And a lot of people, myself included, have been burned by some of these companies. But you found a company that was real and that actually helped you get from where you were to where you wanted to go.
Yes, I actually
Wow.
did. A lot of people don't know it's illegal for any company to collect any money up front for credit repair services.
Really?
Yes, it has to be three avenues that actually can do that: a nonprofit entity, which
Okay.
this company is,
Okay.
a bank, or a mortgage company.
Okay.
They actually can collect the money up front.
Right. Right.
So a lot of our people, when you hear, "Oh, I can do credit repair,"
Right.
ask them, "Are you a nonprofit? I know you're not a bank.
Okay.
Are you a mortgage company or a credit union as well? A credit union, they can
Okay.
actually collect monies up front."
Gotcha.
So were you in the same situation, getting burned? Did you try other companies before you
I
tried this
actually
one?
tried another company,
Which we will not mention.
which I will not mention. I actually tried another company. Their services were, first of all, they were astronomical in pricing. I mean, I was in them just for me to reach that credit score that I needed to get that. I didn't even
get
get a
the
condo. I
house,
ended up
yeah.
getting a house. I ended up paying close to $4,000.
Wow.
Close to $4,000, and it took them about 22 months to help me.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Okay. Does anybody out there have that kind of money?
In 22 months.
22 months
And
to wait.
22
You're waiting
months, yes.
people want to move now. Builders, you see how fast that
Sure.
they're building homes, they're building
Sure.
these properties. You can't go up to them and say, "Look, I'll be ready in 22 months."
Right.
They're like, "Okay, next."
Right, right. But I also heard you say something else, that you were trying to pull together information or a process that you could get some things removed from your credit or some things changed. What was that like?
That was a nightmare by itself. A lot of people always say, "Well, I can try to put my credit and stuff together," because that was me. I was actually trying to write the credit bureaus,
Right.
challenge the Fair Credit
Right.
Reporting Act myself. Well, that's a job by itself. And if you don't stay on top of that, you will never get anywhere.
Right.
I would get maybe one item off, and then maybe 4 or 5 months later, maybe something else would come off. But my credit score wasn't going up.
Wasn't moving.
It wasn't
Okay.
moving like I needed it to move.
So there is a language that your company speaks with the credit bureaus in order to get them to shift and move.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And that's a language that most of us don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We actually have a team of attorneys that actually create customized letters for you in the correct legal jargon that you need to actually challenge the Fair Credit Reporting Act with the credit bureaus. And also, you know how on the back of your credit reports, there are barcodes on the back of those reports. Those barcodes, the attorneys actually know exactly what those barcodes stand for and what needs to be disputed and how it needs to be disputed.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
Yes,
That's
yes.
interesting. So we want to push past now your pain and agony, because I'm thinking
Okay.
that some folks out there can relate.
Yes.
You know?
Certainly.
They want to know now about FES. How did you and FES connect?
Okay. Well, let me just tell you a little bit about FES, Financial Education Services. We are a 10-year-old financial services company operating out of Farmington Hills, Michigan. We've helped over 250,000 clients get about 800,000 derogatory items off of their credit reports.
Tweet that.
Yes. We have a A+ rating with the Better Business Bureaus. And right now, the Better Business Bureaus, they don't even rate credit repair companies anymore because there's so much scam and fraudulent, items out there. We actually, how I got introduced to it, a gentleman introduced me to FES, and when I saw it, I did my research, and I saw that this is a $50 billion company, and we're $1 million company, I'm sorry, I speak that though, and a $50 million company, and hopefully in the next couple of years, we're looking to be a $100 million debt-free company.
Okay.
And that's what we teach. We teach you how to be debt-free.
That's a nice place to be.
Well, yeah, we all want to be there, particularly with what's going on in the industry today.
Yes.
Oh my
but,
gosh.
and I
know you
want
got a
to
story
say
to
this.
tell.
Yeah, I do, right? But here we go. So there's a new series coming out called Mr. Robot. And typically I wouldn't plug a TV show, but I got to see the first episode early and watched it. And it was awesome and fascinating at the same time because in the show, what it's going to do is take us on a journey about something that people have been talking about, which is the greatest transfer of wealth that the world has ever seen. And I won't give it away as to how this takes place, but the bottom line is it talks about this whole credit situation and that just because of some computer movements, there are some things that are going to happen that are really going to change the face of money as we know it, the
currency,
economy.
yes.
The currency collapse.
Yes.
Ron Paul has written a book about
Got
it.
a few
and
videos out there too.
Yes. And so to hear you say this, here we go. If you are ever going to get something done, now NOW is the time to do it.
I had heard that, the Congress is actually trying to enact a law that you cannot take cash to flea markets anymore.
Right. And here we go. Part of this is being set up just as it was, and people don't realize this, back in the day. If you remember, Nixon was the one that took us off the gold standard, which basically made our cash worth nothing.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
That's why it still
Calm
says,
down
"And
there."
God we trust." You see me, right? Get ready, take off. But here we go. But one of the other things that happened too was that there was a time when it was illegal for individuals to buy and sell gold.
Right.
You could not buy gold and hold it personally. And so that law was changed. But guess what? Because of what's happening, Congress is now preparing the way
Yes, they are.
to actually make it illegal for us to do a lot of things on our own. I believe that time is going to come back again when we cannot buy and sell gold,
That's
silver, precious metals. Why? Because that's going to become the currency.
It is. It's the
of
currency
choice.
of the kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're just going back to kingdom
Yeah.
rules. That is what
Yes.
the currency is,
Yeah.
gold and silver.
Yes.
Frankincense and myrrh.
Exactly.
Listen to us. We know what we're
Yes,
talking about.
yes.
Indeed.
But so then now credit becomes viable
Yes.
for us to be able to survive in the upcoming changes.
Exactly. It used to be that cash used to be king.
Right.
But now it's credit.
Yes.
And so credit determines everything. It determines whether or not you get a job. Around
Yes.
here in the Washington,
Yes.
D.C.
Yes.
area,
Definitely.
65% of our government workers are contractors, and they actually have to have these clearances. Well, if they don't have good credit,
Correct.
they can't keep their job.
Right.
Correct.
You got to look at trying to get an apartment, trying to just apply for a bank account. You need to have good credit.
Right. And to be able to get something that doesn't have a high interest rate.
Exactly.
They take
Exactly.
Even insurance.
Yes.
Even
Car
insurance.
insurance.
Car insurance, health insurance,
Yes.
life
That's
insurance.
right.
Yes,
That's
that's
right.
right.
Credit
That's
check
right.
is done for all of those things
Yes,
as well.
that's
So I
right.
can't even protect my family if I die, if I got bad credit.
Right.
And having
Right.
bad credit actually can cost you up to $200,000 to $300,000 based upon your interest.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Based
Yeah.
upon your interest. So if you are going into the store and you have a 720 credit score and you want to go purchase a home, you probably have a 2% interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Me, on the other hand, I have this 640. So they're saying now you can get a home with 620.
Mm-hmm.
But 620 actually is a poor credit score.
Right.
They're going to give both of us the loan.
Right.
Right.
But your mortgage might be $900, where my mortgage might be $1,400, based upon our credit.
And over time.
And over time,
you're gonna
yes,
pay-
over
Right.
time, you're going to pay thousands and thousands.
Hundreds of
Yes,
thousands.
hundreds of thousands of interest.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's interesting. So because I've heard that even if the interest rate is high, if you want to buy, it's a good thing to buy. So go ahead and get in at the high interest rate, but then find somebody like you who will work with
Right.
me to
Yes.
lower
Right.
and correct my credit so I can lower that interest rate.
Exactly, exactly. What we do is go ahead, right? We say go ahead and purchase. Well, on a home front, homes you can't really buy like that on a high interest rate anymore, but you can buy a vehicle.
Definitely.
Car dealerships, they can charge you up to 26%.
29.
29%.
And
Yes,
it's legal.
Right, and I have a few car dealerships that I deal with that they actually send me their credit customers. So what happens is they'll sell them that car. It might be not be the car that they want,
Right.
but they will sell them a car
Right.
for a high interest rate, and they tell them, listen, get enrolled in credit restoration services with Miss
Yes.
Siobhan. Come back in 6 months,
That's great.
That's right.
and I will
great.
actually get you in the car that you wanted.
That's right.
Right.
And actually give you $500 credit towards that car because that's the cost of her service,
Right.
of the service that their company uses.
That's right. All right. So nothing's impossible. It's just
Yes.
what do you want to do
Right.
to get
Right.
what you want to be where you
Right.
want to be.
Exactly.
But Mike, can you throw up that slide again because we want to look at all the programs and
Lots of
services that they offer.
services.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and there are just a couple that we want to pop for tonight's discussion. So
Okay.
we were talking about the credit restoration, definitely, and we're going to look at the FES protection plan. But for our viewers, look at a suite of programs and services that Financial Education Services offers, and that you can connect with Siobhan in getting some more information, or even going to a website. We'll give you all of that information at the end. But let's go flip to the next slide, because I definitely want to zero in on the credit restoration and your connection with United Credit Education Services.
Okay, United Credit Education Services, we are the nonprofit entity for financial education services.
Okay.
So that users aren't confused, again, we are the nonprofit entity for financial education services that provides the credit restoration service.
Okay.
Um,
So that they're the hook, and you reel them in.
I reel them in, and
you
they're
fix them.
exactly,
Got it.
exactly, and we fix them from there.
Yes.
So I'm an account executive with United Credit Education Services, and we provide the credit restoration service.
Okay, all right. So nearly 80% of credit reports contain inaccuracies or erroneous accounts. What do you mean?
Inaccurate or erroneous accounts. Your name could be William Smith.
Okay.
You go out and you apply for credit that says Bill Smith.
Ah, okay.
You lived at 17415 Bickford Avenue. They put in there 7415 Bickford Avenue.
Okay.
They add that. It could be the your social number, maybe 57711
Whatever.
and it's really 57811
Gotcha.
whatever.
Gotcha.
So those are that's what we mean
Something
by
as simple as
inaccurate,
that.
right? Inaccurate or erroneous accounts.
Okay.
Or items on your credit
And
report.
most will not even know that because they don't even pull their credit report.
No, it's funny because I hear people time and time again say, I don't even know what's on my credit report. I don't want to know what's on my
Oh,
credit
my.
report.
Because they give up. They give up.
And it's really sad. It's like, at least go and get a free annual credit report once a year,
right.
so you can say, I saw my credit report last year,
Right.
and this what was up there.
Right.
But
But
just
see,
not knowing.
Here we go. And the reality is that they need someone like you.
Yes.
That's the reality. Because to get the information and not know what to do with it, as you already said, trying to do it all yourself is a losing battle.
Yes,
So
it
for
is.
most people, they already know I'm in bad shape. Looking at it's not going to help. So I don't have anybody to help me. What's the point?
File
So
13.
bottom line is exactly, they need someone like you. And if you're in that situation, what we're telling you is here's an opportunity for you to partner with someone who can actually help you change that situation. You don't have to continue to struggle or get taken advantage of or pay the highest prices anymore because you have someone who will actually be a member of your team now to help you get the
Yes.
information you need.
Right. I had a client recently come and see me about her credit report and that she's going for security clearance. And we've had clients over the years, even at Salvation Army, who wanted to mainstream back into their secured job. And so we sat down with them because we had a process that we went and wrote to the credit bureaus. This is what, 18, 20 years ago now. Okay, we wrote to the credit bureau, and that's when they were playing those games. You know, you could tell them that this is erroneous and they'll take it off for 30 days. And during that
Put it
30
back
days,
in.
you go and get what you want. And so, but we didn't play those games with them. But so first, let me say this. You can't play those games anymore because things are too mechanized and automated. They'll catch you the day after.
Yes.
But we sat down with them and we actually helped them understand what their credit report was saying and to let them know, all that aside, you want to know what people are pulling on you and what they're going to know about you before you apply for the job.
Exactly.
Because you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you don't. You're
Absolutely.
hopeful that you're going to get that house or that car, and that credit report comes back. They can't share it with you. The only thing that they can do is tell you, call this number and tell them to send me
Exactly.
a free credit report. But if they work with you, then they are able to generate a report, sit down with you, go line by line by line, and feel good about themselves when they walk out because they'll know what they can apply for, when they can apply for it, and how much their net worth is, okay?
Yes. Actually, when a client gets enrolled in our service, they actually get their own username and password. So they actually see a web portal. They can go out to united-credit.org and they can actually log in with their own username and password. They actually see their credit profile. They see how their credit is actually broken down, where the majority of their credit is going to. And the majority of your credit actually is your payment history, which people need to understand.
Yes.
Your payment history is really the big chunk of your credit. Then they can actually see their credit profiles from all 3 credit bureaus. They can see all the derogatory items that we actually have removed. They can actually see what's still being in place. And then they can also see anything that comes on their credit since they've been enrolled in our service. So that's one of the benefits that they really, really like. And they're assigned a credit coach.
Oh, say that
They
again.
are assigned a credit coach.
They're not in this alone.
They're not in this alone. They can call up to our customer service, and our customer service actually will assign them the credit coach, and they can ask that credit coach, hey, listen, I think I want to go and buy a car. What do you think it's going to do to my credit? They'll pull up their credit and they'll say, hey, listen, why don't you hold off on that? Do you need a car right this minute? Or just because you've seen a few things get removed.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
we're not ready right now to go with that. So therefore, we're there, we're educating them, and while we're educating them, their credit scores are going up.
So a question for you. All right, how does that work actually? Because this is one of the things my daughter, she's been very studious about her credit file.
Okay.
And she got so upset. She recently bought a new car. And, that's how I know about 29%. Now, she paid half of the car. So the loan was so small. And because of the fact that she didn't have any real credit history, that's why she paid the 29%. But I went with her on it. I said, go for it, because again, you're only going to be doing this for a few months.
Right.
And this is
Right.
going to help you.
Right.
And from hereafter, as long as you do well in this, you will never have to pay 29%
That's
again.
right.
So, kudos to you. You saved half the money for the car. But here we go. One of her pet peeves was, but my credit score isn't moving. I'm doing well. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but it's not moving. So how does that work?
Okay, so what happens is your credit score does a couple of things. Of course, she didn't have any credit, so she does have a high interest rate. But during the course of that, what I always advise my clients is, listen, open up a secure credit card.
Okay.
When you open up a secure credit card, charge on that card, but don't charge the max. So if you put $500 down on that credit card, the max that you want to use is 30%, which is $150.
Okay.
Pay that. Go out there, charge for some gas, pay for that gas, pay for it, and then you'll start seeing your credit, because they got to see some type of payment history, but not just on one account, but just a couple of accounts. I'm not telling you to go out here every time you go on Macy's, you go into New York and Company. They was like, here to get 20% off today. Why don't you sign up here for a credit card?
Right.
I don't advise you of that, because if you look at the fine print, they're going to charge you 26 to 27%
That's right.
interest rate.
That's
And
right.
in many cases, you won't even get the card.
You won't
so
even
now
get
you
the
got
ca-
an inquiry
Exactly.
that hurts you even more.
That hurts you even more.
Right.
Right.
All right. So bottom line is we have to establish some sort of accounts,
Yes.
of credit accounts that can be paid off over time, and
Yes.
that helps to move and inch that credit
Exactly.
score
And
upwards.
then also with credit cards, sometimes you can be able to call up the credit card company and say, hey, can you give me an increase in my limit? Get that increase. Show them that you have actually paid on time. They can see that you've paid on time,
Right.
and they will give you an increase. But just because they gave you that increase, don't max it out again.
Right.
Yeah, right.
30% is the magic
Right.
number for credit cards.
Okay.
30%.
30%. That's
Okay.
good stuff.
Next slide, please. We're looking at financial education services and all the things that you offer. I think there were 13 different things.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so we talk about credit restoration, credit attorney, FES Debt Zero, financial lockbox, My Care Plan, and a host of others. What I want to know about is this RX discount card, because a lot of people don't have medical.
That is a phenomenal service that the company just introduced this past February at our convention. So how it works is you would go and get your prescription from your doctor. You would actually type in the name of the prescription. You would type in your zip code. It comes back and tells you where you can get that prescription at the cheapest price.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
We
cool.
partner with over 60,000 pharmacies across the United States with that.
Okay.
So that can save you, especially if you have medicine that costs you $2,000 to $3,000 and your health insurance doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
So can you use that in conjunction with a health plan?
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh,
That's
okay.
powerful.
beautiful. Yes, it is. It's powerful. It's
That's powerful.
This is tickling. Okay, next slide, please.
Tweet that tickling. Okay.
Tickling.
Tickling. This is
We were
tickling.
looking at financial education, and this is near and dear to my heart, the Youth Financial
Yay.
Literacy Foundation.
Our YFL is doing some phenomenal things. We're actually educating youth from the ages of 8 to 18 across the United States in matters of personal finance and credit. This past February, we actually gave away $50,000 in scholarships to 27 students.
Wow.
All they had to do was write a essay on what financial literacy meant to them, also doing a research project as well. This year, we hope to, well, we're not hoping, we already claimed it, that we are going to be giving away $100,000 in scholarships in February.
There we go.
So that protection plan membership that you had just talked about with the 13 different services, we pay $87 a month for that. Out of $87 a month, $2 of that actually goes into the YFL.
Okay.
Because we want to teach kids about things that we didn't learn a long time ago.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Things that are not necessarily being taught in the classroom.
They're not.
How to write a check,
Oh, that's
how
right.
to budget, how not to go out here your freshman year of college and go over to that T-shirt booth
Right.
just because you like that T-shirt and sign up for that credit card,
Right.
and you end up graduating with $50,000-$60,000 in student loans in addition to this credit card debt.
Right, right. You know, it's so funny because we were watching a show, I won't say which one, on TV, and the star of the show, his daughter just started college. So he sends her away. He told her, I'm paying your tuition. I'll give you $400 a month.
I saw that the
Did you
other
see
day.
that?
I saw that. I know what
$400
show
a
you're
month.
talking about.
And so here we
Yes,
go.
yes.
So we go, okay, that's about $100 a week.
Exactly.
Well, guess what? Within the first 3 hours, she had already spent her $100.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's so
And
funny you
it's
said that. I
it's
watched it last night. and was laughing. Yes.
And here we go.
Yes.
So even when you have some things in place to try to help young people because they don't have a pattern of
Yes.
that mentality, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for us as adults, you know, when we know we're getting paid every week and yet we go out. But this is so needed because if you can help kids understand at a young age how to get their financial houses in order, gosh, just look at the differences it can make. The choices they'll have by the time they're 18 years old and
yes,
it's time to go to
yes.
college.
And you said you start at 8 years old.
Yes.
Is this just in community? Is this in
No,
schools? Where is this?
Actually, all across the United States, we can come in and partner with the schools. So if anybody wants to partner with the YFL, they need to give me a call. Any type of organizations that want to teach financial literacy, but we actually teach financial literacy in the classrooms. So what happens is the school will actually get us to come in, and for 6 to 8 weeks, all depending on how it's laid out, we actually go in there and we teach this class for 1 hour. And we're talking about credit. We're talking about
Yes.
savings. We're talking about managing your bank account. And at the end of the day, it's just like after the kids have finished this class, we go back and we actually give the school, based off of the number of attendance, $500 per 30 to 35 kids.
Okay.
So we give that back to the school. So we try to encourage the school, the more kids you get involved in this class, the more that we're going to be able to give back to you.
You know,
Oh, great.
when I was in school, elementary school, I can remember us going, and it's no longer in existence, the Bowery Savings Bank in New York. They took us on a class trip. We all went up there. We opened up, it was like $5. We opened up savings accounts. And that was one of the things that every week or something, whatever little monies we got, they encouraged us to put it in the bank. And they don't do that in school anymore.
No, they
that was
don't.
that was part of our curriculum.
But you know, I read where IRS in their spec program has united with the community because the IRS was so tired of these payday loan companies
Yes.
moving into disadvantaged neighborhoods and taking their refunds
Yes.
from them.
Yes.
So what they wanted to do was to implement financial literacy courses within the community. So this is an excellent thing that FES is doing.
Yes.
So what schools are you implanted in right now in this metropolitan area?
In this metropolitan area, we just did, it was my school that I taught at, College Park Academy.
Okay.
It's a charter school over in Prince George's County.
Okay.
We also, one of our vice presidents, she actually did it over in some schools over in Baltimore County as well.
Great.
I am looking forward, so forward to this upcoming school year where I'm going to have 4 more Prince George's County schools. I'm also looking to do this over in D.C. and Virginia. So if we have
Baltimore.
in Baltimore County and Baltimore City. So if we have any educators or administrators that are listening out there, please do contact me so we can do some partnership so we can get our kids educated.
So now they're asking right now, well, what's the cost to the school?
It does not cost the school anything. All that we ask is if you can find one dedicated teacher
Okay.
that can actually say, okay, I can take this and I can teach it. Because we
Okay.
provide all the
gonna
all the
train the trainer.
materials, train to trainer. We have
Okay.
workbooks. We give them everything that they
Wow.
actually need.
Wow.
So I would go in there and work with them for like a whole week
Okay.
to make sure we got the curriculum going, to
Wow.
get them going for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
That sounds great. And it doesn't have to be a school. It could be a faith-based organization. It could be a
Yes.
community center. It
Yes.
could be one home at a time to save
One
the
home at a
neighborhood.
time,
I
yes.
tell you
Are we
what.
talking about financial education parties?
Yes.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be limited to the Prince George's County area because there is Facebook, there is Skype, there what is that
Meetup?
Google what is it?
Google Chat.
Google
Snapchat.
Chat and,
Oh, you
and
mean
know,
Google Hangouts?
Hangout. You
Yeah,
can
we
go
can do
across the
Hangouts.
We're
state.
trying to
Wow.
what we're trying to do is we're trying to open up financial services offices all across the nation.
Okay. That's good.
All 50 states. So it's just not centralized here. It's all over.
Okay.
And you can contact me for that information as well.
Okay, and for those that are in 135 nations out there viewing us, still contact her.
Yes.
You can go to, we have a slide with her information on it, Mike. You can go to her her website, which is the chick.
www.thecreditchickmd.com.
MD.
I'm the credit chick MD.
Okay. And then
Okay.
she's also on LinkedIn, Siobhan Johnson's Facebook for Siobhan D. Johnson. And there's her website, thecreditchickmd.com. Okay. And you can email her directly to find out how you can get into the foreign nations as well.
Yes.
May not be the right time, but at least she can give you the information and give you some hope about restoring economics in your neighborhood. I see Black Wall Street starting all over again.
Yes.
Oh,
I do.
wow.
I do. I
This is
see
the second
communities.
time I've heard that in the last couple of weeks.
It has to happen, and that's not just
Black Wall Street.
to disrespect any other neighborhood, but there is a great need to have economics restored in some neighborhoods.
Yes, it is.
But I think that's it, Ms. Johnson.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Time is up already.
It
we
is.
just
It
sat
really
down.
is.
Wow.
Oh gosh, we're gonna have to have you back. You
Okay,
know.
well, I thank you guys for inviting me. I'd definitely like to come back and give more of our viewers some more information on financial literacy.
Indeed.
Okay, we'll definitely look into that. Thank you, Danae, and let
Yes.
Courtney know we miss her.
Miss you, Courtney.
And again, happy Father's Day to you,
Thank you
and
so very
everybody
much.
else at WLVS radio and across 135 nations in all 50 states. We want you to be safe, be smart, be healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, hey.